You heard it live here on WCCO. Esme Murphy, Pat Kessler. Combative a little bit, denying the allegations.
Denying the allegations, saying, you know, he remembers it differently. Yeah. Some of these things flat out just didn't happen. Another headline here pointing out, in his words, the irony that he is being forced to resign at the time when a president who bragged about sexual assault on tape, certainly that was before he was elected, sits in the Oval Office, and Roy Moore, who is accused of fraternizing or going after having relationships with teenage girls, is about to get elected to the U.S. Senate. That is really a remarkable statement.
And this was a very articulate speech and even moving in some parts. He does say in here, I was shocked, I was upset, and he says when he heard about these allegations for the first time, and he says he left the false impression that he admitted to doing things he did not do. And so this again, and you talked with him in Washington 10 days ago, he says he did not do these things.
This is a straight-up denial.
Absolutely. Right. He says this is not who I am, and he is denying it outright.
And that has been the problem, because you have had 6, some people are saying 7 women come forward with remarkably similar stories in their language. Not all of them have come out. We don't know all of their names, but the stories ring true because the language these women are using is so similar. And at the same time, he's saying women have to be believed. And that's been the problem. Did
he mess this up as far as a strategic standpoint in trying to be respectful of the broader conversation? And at the same time, this is the first time he's straight up denying.
Well, you know, Esme's interview with Al Franken 10 days ago was really revealing, I thought, because he apologized, but we didn't know what he was apologizing for. He apologized for these while not admitting that he actually did these things that these women are accusing him of doing. So I think, is that a strategy? Is that trying to walk the line? Probably. Politically, this thing changed on him very quickly, however.
Right. And the bottom line now that he's no longer a United States, or going to be a United States Senator, it sounds like he's going to take
a few weeks, it sounds like,
resign. Yeah. I think all of this is, you know, in the past. It really, you know, maybe it'll be discussed, but this was going to linger for weeks, for months, even years. And that's what he said. In the end, he could not be an effective senator for the people of Minnesota, and that's why he had to step down.
So, yeah, you look ahead to 2020 when he's up for re-election, and he was severely hurt by this. We look at some of the numbers, the polling numbers for Al Franken, and they plummeted. And so he would have had a very tough re-election battle anyway, but now we look forward to what's coming.
2 things looking forward now. 1, the governor will appoint a temporary replacement. We don't know who that will be, right?
That's true. I think we can say safely that it will be a woman. Right,
yes.
Right.
Even Senator Franken referred to that as she.
She will succeed me. Yeah, so it'll be a woman, it'll be a Democrat. That's about all we know right now, because Governor Dayton, a Democrat, will appoint a replacement for Senator Franken, a Democrat. So that's going to be interesting to watch. I think on all of the lists of all the people that I've talked with, high on the list is the Lieutenant Governor, Tina Smith, who would be what we call a caretaker senator. That is that she would fill out until November, when the special election would be held.
Right. I also think, you know, too, that this speech, going back to the speech, there really were moments of eloquence that I think were striking. And I think he ended really on a high note, talking about how even on the worst political day of his life, he has no regrets. He would do it again. And that this has been the great honor of his life. This had to have been torturous for him to do.
Well, the humiliation of this over the last 3 weeks, a public humiliation, a national humiliation on the front page of every newspaper in America, and the target of the President of the United States. Again, the irony of it, as he noted, of someone who himself has been accused by 13 women of sexual harassment and assault. That's what we saw today, and I think you're absolutely right. Parts of this were very eloquent.
Esme and Pat, we'll hear more from you throughout the day here on CCO.